Hey guys, my name is Nora Franch, and welcome to the podcast Grateful Blessed Mess, daily reflections for those in the 12 steps. I am a fellow 12-stepper and certified mindset coach, and I am here to introduce you to the value of mindset coaching in your 12-step journey. So if you feel like you are stuck in the steps, if you're slipping and sliding with your abstinence, mindset coaching may help you as it did me, and you can find me at catholicmindsetcoaching.com. These episodes are meant to invite you in to consider the truths of 12-step wisdom and to join in the very real struggle of living them in action. I hope that it feels almost like a mini meeting, and I invite you to contribute your own share on the Grateful Blessedness Facebook group to keep the discussion going. My comments are based on my own experience, so feel free to take what you like and leave the rest. But my hope is to encourage you on your own daily 12-step journey. As they say, you cannot stay clean on yesterday's shower. So without further ado, let's begin. We are reading from Daily Reflections, page 91. This is the quotation for March 23rd, titled, "And No More Reservations." We have seen the truth again and again. Once an alcoholic, always an alcoholic. If we are planning to stop drinking, there must be no reservation of any kind, nor any lurking notion that someday we will be immune to alcohol. To be gravely affected, one does not necessarily have to drink a long time, nor take the quantities some of us have. That is from Alcoholics Anonymous, page 33. And here is the reflection. These words are underlined in my book. They are true for men and women alcoholics. On many occasions, I've turned to this page and reflected on the passage. I need never fool myself by recalling my sometimes differing drinking patterns or by believing I am cured. I like to think that if sobriety is God's gift to me, then sober life is my gift to God. I hope God is as happy with his gift as I am with mine. I love that. That is so beautiful. How my sober life is my gift to God. Because I really think it just makes him like dance and smile when we are living like such a more glorious life because we have that freedom that comes from abstinence and sobriety and like that fully alive feeling where we're not just a dry drunk, where we are actually like living in the beauty of who we are and loving who we are. And that is I think that's one of the promises of the program. And I want to draw our attention to, if we are planning to stop drinking, there must be no reservation of any kind, nor any lurking notion that someday we will be immune to alcohol. I almost want to find, maybe I will, the page in the big book where they talk about this, because I want to say there's a line right after that is more illuminative, and I'm not thinking of it off the top of my head, so maybe I can find it quick. But that line is so important because that's like, if we have any little hint in us that maybe if I just do this, maybe if I just modify it like that, like a little bit here, a little bit there, we're going to relapse. We are. Because for some reason, the way our brains are wired, eventually that thought will win out and we'll do that thing, and then it'll trigger our addiction, and chances are we're going to spiral out of control or at least slip considerably. And so I just want, as like an exercise, maybe you can try to get really honest with yourself. And if you're having trouble with that, because our disease is sneaky, it doesn't want us to uncover these beliefs that we still have about this loophole, or if I just try that. It doesn't want us to. It wants us to be very convinced that we are correct. Like, of course, this is the thing that it will die if we acknowledge the truth. This disease this part of us is going to die if we actually recognize the truth that we can't have any reservations of any kind. And so it's going to stop at nothing to make you believe that you still can do this. You still got it somehow. Like, you don't need this program. Like, that's the thing for other people. Good for you. I'm glad you have it. But I'm different and I got this and I'm not like you. That's what your disease says. So this page in the big book is 33. Let's see. If we are planning to stop drinking, there must be no reservation of any kind nor any lurking. I love that lurking. It almost makes me think of like someone hiding out in our head. Like that's my diseased little character in my head, this little lurking character, nor any lurking notion that someday we will be immune to alcohol. Young people may be encouraged by this man's experience to think that they can stop as he did on their own willpower. We doubt if many of them can do it, because none will really want to stop, and hardly one of them, because of the peculiar mental twist already acquired, will find he can win out. That peculiar mental twist. I love that phrase because it so describes the funky thing that happens in our heads when all of a sudden, we're banging on the bar table asking for another round when we told ourselves we wouldn't have a drink when we walked into the bar, right? That peculiar mental twist where you're like, I'm not going to eat that. I'm not going to eat that. I don't even want that. And then you're doing so great. And then you go to a party and then you are eating one thing and then you see that other thing on the other table and you're like, I don't even want it. And then you walk over there and you just put it on your plate because it's pretty. And then all of a sudden, you're 10,000 leagues under the sea. So it's just this, I feel like it's this almost like this incredibly strong denial that we have unknowingly reinforced, and it's become so strong. It's like a monster that will stop at nothing to get its needs met at the expense of our lives. And that sounds intense, but that's absolutely my experience and absolutely the way that I see it. And and I think it's really good to hear again and again that this affects all people of all kinds. It can look totally different. Some people can just be doing this, whatever they're doing, in a very small way or in a very great way. But is it making your life unmanageable? Are you powerless over it? And is it making your life unmanageable? And if you're struggling to see it, ask for the honesty. Ask for the honesty of that self-appraisal. Ask your higher power to come down. Or if you're not willing to do that, ask the closest person you have in your life, and they'd probably be happy to tell you. It matters. It matters for you to eradicate any suggestion that you can do it on your own. And I wanted to read a poem that I wrote. I like to write poetry. I have a blog. It's gratefulblessedmess.com, but the title of the blog is Grateful and Blessed and Sometimes a Mess, because I wanted to give myself a little grace. I'm not always a mess. But I have this poem, Lesser Loves, and I just want to read it because that's what I think of these little thoughts, these little beliefs that I can still do it on my own, or I can still imbibe in my disease in certain ways, and it won't get me. But I'm just going to read the last couple stanzas because it's a little longer. So this is it. So the point being, it's titled Lesser Loves, and the point being that we need to eradicate these lesser loves so that we can focus all of our spiritual energies on our higher power, right? Or otherwise we're going to slip into our disease because that becomes our higher power. So here we go. A lesser love is not a sin unless it supersedes therein the heart's own ardor for the Lord, resulting in chromatic chord. What is the one that hurts you so, that dampens that eternal glow on the horizon of your soul, your joy amiss, your bliss it stole? Quash it. With that, I pass. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode.
If you feel that mindset coaching could help you on your 12-step journey, please feel free to reach out and find me at catholicmindsetcoaching.com. But more than that, it's important to me to give listeners like yourself a place where you do not need to feel alone on your 12-step journey. And for that reason, I've created a Facebook group. It's called Grateful Blessed Mess. And it's a place where listeners can go to add their own commentary on the share for the day, in addition to my own, and for us just to have a conversation or start a back and forth where people can find support in their 12-step journey. This is not a replacement for 12-step work. This is something outside of the 12 steps. It is simply something that has a heart for the 12 steps and those who are in it. And so, welcome. If you are here, chances are you may also be a bit of a mess. And I hope that you can learn to find some gratitude in the blessings that have come from your messes.